this, everyone? You're obviously confused and aroused.
Then where are we now? Do you have idiots on your planet?
It's me, Zoidberg, remember from high school?
Hello, you're listening to the Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason. Today we will be discussing Futurama Season 2, Episode 5, The Lesser of Two Evils, with your hosts, Tommy Roulette,
How's it going?
Pete Woodward,
That's me.
who went out 2 nights ago for Pete's birthday and didn't text me. Also joining us is our very special guest and my new best friend, Lewis Burns. Welcome to the podcast, Lewis.
Shalom.
Just so you know, this is what happened. I wasn't even sure I was going to be able to go out.
I know if something like that, whether it was a weeknight
and
or a
so
work night.
I asked Tom if he was working, and he said no, but I'll be up there later. And then he was there, so I just went and stayed up late. Drank some.
Where did we hang out? We hung out at the Funhouse. 1539 West 117th Street.
I wish everybody could see that you're wearing a Funhouse T-shirt.
I never realized
Drinking
that.
out of a Funhouse growler.
I am. They have growlers.
I heard that it's where your problems all disappear.
Your problems all do disappear. And
Does
they have-
everyone know
Shut up,
your name?
Lewis.
Are we going to
hey.
get paid for that plug?
Yeah.
Oh,
Lewis,
sweet.
Lewis, welcome back to the Slurmcast. Welcome back as our first returning guest.
Gosh, yeah, I am so honored. Is that the word?
It has nothing at all to do with your email to the Nerdist Community Corkboard
Well, you know.
getting read on the Nerdist podcast. And,
Shucks.
I don't know. It was that sort of like desperate jealousy that was in Lewis's message that I think made it get selected.
he could hear whoever read that.
Okay,
whoever
so-
on Nerdist read that could hear the passion.
You know, to be honest,
So-
what
so-
proof was it really that it was him? He never left his name. So
Now wait a minute. I want to talk to that because I swear I said my name. I know I did.
You can't just say it at the
Yeah, you can't
computer.
say
You
it.
have to type it.
Well, actually, you can now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's never right. It probably would
Although-
come out like pooest turds or something.
although.
Goose.
Don't even.
I did.
Okay. Anyway, so I swear I did, and I combed my emails, and I could not find it, and I don't know why. But let's go with altruistic. I'm going with altruistic.
I feel like you
Well, either way, go
hoped you
ahead.
did, but you did not. And
Well, most likely I
But-
was just like, this will probably never get read, so who cares, you know?
I think we've
Well, I care.
said enough that people know your name.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, thank you.
See you
guys.
later.
All right, bye.
End of episode.
Wait, what?
Lewis, watch over the stairs.
What are you doing with that chainsaw? I can't do a chainsaw impression.
Chainsaw. Is that how it sounds?
No, because one of my neighbors has been running one for like the last 72 hours. I don't know what they're doing, but all day long it's just and it's driving me crazy.
I just pictured you trying to go to sleep and you hear outside, I am a chainsaw. I am a chainsaw. Because that's my impression of a chainsaw.
Sometimes there will be people walking home from the bars at the top of the street, and you hear all kinds of messed
Yeah.
up stuff. It's the downside. Like now that it's fall and things are cooling off, I can open the windows at night, and it's really delightful until some
Until
asshole
you hear a bunch of
walks down the
noise
street.
pollution.
Like, you know, it's
There were 2 buildings just recently knocked down, like right behind my house, and it's right to a main street. It's amazing how much more sound you get from that street when there aren't 2 buildings blocking it.
what did they knock down? Were they
I
just houses or something?
It was in between where the yoga place is and Thai
Which
Kitchen or Thai. No,
Thai
it's
Hut.
Thai Hut. I'm sorry, Thai
Yeah.
Hut.
Yoga. There's 75,000 yoga studios in Lakewood at this
can't- I
point. I
can't-
don't know how it's a
which
sustainable
one.
business.
Was it St. Conk's
It's
Cathedral?
it's in between the building right at the end of my street that used to have what that anime store, Atomic
Atomic
Eye.
Eye?
Atomic Eye's gone?
Yeah.
Was it,
That was a long time ago? I don't know.
Was it
It's
Bender?
a cell phone store.
Was it
now.
Bender Flexo Yoga?
When this episode started, I watched it and hanged my head down because you know what there was?
Too much Bender?
Cold
Cold
opening.
open with a commercial. I was going to ask about that because
But it was one of the great commercial openings.
you know, I would disagree. And
those
this is what
commercial openings
No,
are
it's a good
good.
one.
No, it's fine, but I was wondering why the arachnospores ad had Leela and Fry and Bender in the picture.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't. It didn't connect.
They did that with another one, or they do that with one later. I feel like it's
They do that.
It's
again.
like hey, here's Futurama. Here's this
Sponsored by.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, no, that
That's what
makes sense. I just
yeah.
didn't put it together. I actually didn't watch
Well-
the episode until earlier today because I completely forgot about
I think
it.
it makes a
Why
lot
is
less
it
sense when it's
funny?
the first time, and then when they use it again, it's like, oh, okay. This,
No, yeah.
But,
okay.
But why is it a funny name?
What, arachnospores?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was funny.
No, that's what they say. It's the
Oh, it's the
fatal
whatever with
Deadly spore with
with
the
the funny name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe because I don't know. I think it's funny.
I mean,
They're-
arachno
well, no,
is
they're-
a scientific
they're-
name.
There used to be, maybe there still is. I mean, there was some product that advertised itself as the one with the funny name. So I think they were.
Aquanet.
No, I mean it's sort of like the Smuckers thing, where if it's with a name like Smuckers, it's got to be good. But there was something else where it was literally the one with the funny name,
oh yeah,
and I don't. I mean,
what is
I don't
that?
even know what it was, but that makes sense. There's a lot of fun poking in this episode, I think.
It's Flibbity Joe's Jubidoos
So
gum.
was that Felix the cat that got dropped off a skyscraper in
Yes.
I have no idea,
the
but
cartoon?
wow.
Yeah,
Felix
It's
the Cat in 1925 too. Like
Jesus,
that's so
really?
long. Yeah, that's how long Felix the Cat has been around. The episode was called, or the cartoon was Felix the Cat Trifles with Time.
Trifles with time.
Trifles, truffles.
Truffles.
Tribbles.
Tribbles. Ah!
High five.
Oh,
Oh, that was a horrible high five. So, unblur your face, okay, guys?
Oh, don't jump ahead.
Oh.
That whole cop department thing was great, and it's very much in keeping with them making fun of everything that's on the Fox network
Yeah.
at the time.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Is Cops still on?
I don't know. I
Yes.
see reruns.
Yes.
I didn't-
Yes,
do they make
yes,
new
yes.
ones?
Is it like currently being produced?
That's what I'm wondering. I don't know.
Someone just. I think John Kalman just posted that he watched the Cleveland episode,
One of them.
Yeah, I've seen it.
but I don't know if it was a new one or an
it's
old one.
older. I don't think they've been to Cleveland.
There was an old one with a naked guy who broke into a school when he was all hopped up on PCP. It was around the corner from someone we know's house. It was a real deal.
Glenn
I don't-
Blaze's house.
No,
His
no,
own
no,
house?
no.
Oh.
I don't know.
This
I
was
feel
ages
like-
ago.
I feel
you
like
know what?
Cops.
That
show.
Glenn Glaze.
But you know what was funny about the cop department was the centipede wife, voiced by Katie Seagal. It was a rare instance where she did a voice
didn't-
besides
oh.
Leela.
So, aren't
Yeah.
you
It
going
was
to
almost
I didn't know
almost
she
doing
could
like
age.
a Peg Bundy voice.
Oh yeah.
Unblurring your face, as you said, that was such a great surreal joke. Like, it really, really loved it because it was so just goofy and like that was
almost
really sharp.
meta.
Yeah, but
It's like we're making fun of the cop department.
but when they cut away because Leela thought Bender was going to be on that episode, I want to know what Bender did to the coffee pot
Right.
to get onto
Yeah. I
But
thought
it
about
was
that
like-
too.
the workplace
Couldn't have-
disaster.
But it was like an obvious, like, okay, let's make this joke so that Fry could do a spit take.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how do we fit in a spit take into a show that doesn't necessarily do tropes, you know?
You're starting with that already. Oh my god.
You already said meta, and you didn't even use it the correct way, and then you're jumping into tropes.
Sorry.
No. Fuck. What were we talking about?
When
Bugs?
just putting a button on cop department.
the,
he goes in
the-
after him after he slithers away
Yeah.
with a shoe.
Yeah, that is just amazing.
Because I have like crawlies like that down in my basement, and I'll see them when I'm doing laundry and stuff, and just like I just run away.
I
don't
like
wanna
that
deal with it.
Bug Wife had 1 million kids in each arm.
Wait, did she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
all
didn't
every
even
arm
notice
she
that.
had a baby in it.
She
yeah,
had,
it was
like-
great.
Yeah.
Oh, So
Okay, so
I guess
no.
what?
Wait. I got a tangent that you're probably gonna edit out, but
Then don't go down that road.
no.
Exercise
hear me
some
out.
self-awareness, Burns.
Hear me out.
Lewis,
Okay.
if you can explain this in less than 10 seconds, I will not edit it out. Ready, set, go.
There is a thing behind the couch that is always there, and I don't know what it is.
I have
Is
no
that from
idea
Twin
what that
Peaks?
is. Is that
Is that from Twin Peaks?
No, there's a thing behind.
What do you mean
their
a
couch.
thing?
It looks like a vent with a pipe coming off of it, and it's always sitting right behind the Futurama TV couch, and they never explain what it is. It's just a thing that's sitting back
It can't
there.
just be like a ventilation duct.
Yeah, but what is it?
Probably a ventilation duct.
Yeah.
It's got buttons on it.
Okay, so
The
maybe it's got a
futuristic ventilation,
thermostat on it.
Duct.
Yeah, so
You know what?
I missed
Shut
the-
up and get to the point
I
already.
missed the part. So why did they go to Pastorama? What was the
Mammoth
transition?
hunt.
Is that
They
what they were
watched
going to?
a commercial.
Oh,
and they were
okay.
talking
Was it a
about
commercial?
the mammoth
Okay.
hunt
Okay.
in Old New York
Yeah.
And so they went off
on
to-
hover.
Oh,
everything.
things.
That
It
whole
was like hover scooters.
that whole 2 minutes of Pastorama was like just great.
It's basically totally encapsulates time compression.
Which we talked
Right.
about.
Yeah.
And you know
Oh my
what?
goodness, that
did
was
we talk
on my
about it
mind the
on the podcast?
entire-
We've talked
Oh,
about it 2
yeah.
or 3 times.
That was a more thought out, elongated version of the Whalers on the Moon. It's just
Yes.
that whole like
High five, Hammurabi!
yeah, and
Yeah.
oh dude, everything,
gosh.
everything.
Oh,
of
The
it.
yeah.
primitive robots that looked like Captain
right.
Caveman.
Great.
So
Great.
I
All
mean,
right, so
even
let's go
even before
through-
they get there,
Let's go through everything.
we will.
If you got it
we
written
will.
down, yeah,
Just-
absolutely, because I didn't
But
write all this stuff down.
even before they get there, Fry's really ambivalent about going because he thinks if he gets frozen again for 1,000
Oh,
years, he'll
so
wind up
great.
in the past.
goodness.
I remember that line. I didn't know what episode it was going to be, and I've been waiting for it. I feel like Tom like mentioned it at some point, or I guessed it or something. Like
They had 47th Street butter churners.
So wait a minute, is that your "Fry is so dumb" comment?
That's one of
or-
them.
Okay, because I have it written down later, but
But I do too. There's a couple in this one. but-
47th Street butter.
I thought he was
churners.
kidding about the Funhouse growler. You really are drinking out of a Funhouse
I'm
growler.
about to pour out of a
You
funhouse
put
growler
on, you
right
put
now.
on a pair of sunglasses.
doing
One
that,
eye
I'm gonna
says
go
fun,
get,
the other side says
yeah,
house.
we're getting paid for every time we say the words fun and house together.
On 1539 West 117th Street.
Cleveland,
Open
Ohio.
daily.
4
Cleveland,
p.m.
Ohio. 4 p.m.
So one of the things that they pass by is a movie marquee for Star Wars Episode
Episode
9,
9.
Yoda's Bar Mitzvah.
Yep.
And I think when they did this, I'm sure they were just like, oh, it'd be funny. But like they did the prequels, which would have been, the prequels would have been going on at this same time. Because
think
because
the
Phantom
first one
Menace
at least
came out in 99.
Nine,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
in high school.
And
But
this,
but then when they
episode
came back,
out-
so episode 7 is in the future from the original trilogy. This Rogue One is going back to between the prequels and the original trilogy. So it's entirely possible that the 9th Star Wars movie, which will be coming out probably in 2019,
Yeah, but it's not episode
could be Yoga's Bar Mitzvah.
9. Though.
Yeah,
like,
but the
Yoga's.
fact is,
Yoga's Bar Mitzvah.
yeah, but Yoda dies
Yogurt.
in the
Spooky.
original
Yogurt.
trilogy.
scary.
Yeah, but if they did a prequel to the prequels when Yoda was getting,
Yeah, but they were very specific about the episode numbering. So 9 would absolutely come after 6, which was the last one. So
matter.
4,
We don't know.
5, 6 were the original trilogies. And so 7, 8, and 9 would come after it.
That's true. That's where he's got
So
you.
it doesn't
what-
matter. It doesn't matter.
Is Rogue
But-
One
but-
not episode 8?
Rogue
It's
One
not.
is
It's
not an
not
episode.
part
No, no,
of.
no.
But
it's
regardless,
a Star
this,
Wars story,
this
like the Star
episode-
Wars Christmas story
Yes.
that they had.
this
Oh, that's
episode
not
came out
canon,
in
though.
2000, February 20th, 2000, which was the release date of this episode.
Fact check
So-
department, does that check out?
It checks out.
Okay.
It was reassuring to see that there was a real mugger still.
Well,
yeah.
I have a question. When he's looking at the sign, the parking sign in New York,
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
like every time I've watched this episode, that's a great sign, and I finally paused it and like read everything
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Is that a real sign? Something
I
that
feel
would
like
show
I've
up in New
seen
York?
a lot of signs
Because
like those
it-
here in Cleveland,
it
where it's like
makes
this doesn't.
sense
Where I'm
if
like,
you-
so when can I?
You read it.
I didn't read it closely.
It does.
I mean, was it
no,
just
no, no.
like
I've
it
paused
makes
it, too,
sense.
before,
it makes
but not this
sense,
time.
except there's one that says leash law enforced by radar.
They had that Learn Spanglish sign, and then there's a big alien sign next to it. Did
Okay.
you translate it?
I did, yeah. It says, laser tentacle surgery. And then also the like, congratulations, Gary, or something like that, or something like, I think the
Like a
writers
hidden
threw like
message?
a hidden message in there. Right.
So Fry says that they just use the phone booths as bathrooms.
I was just about
Right.
I was going to interrupt this whole thing where you guys will never hear this with going, I'm going to go use the phone booth.
Well, but I didn't get why Bender got all excited because he thought it was a suicide booth. And the last time that got brought up was in the pilot.
Right.
So what is Bender doing in there? Just getting like sort of a
He just wants
Massage.
to kill himself.
but he's a robot.
He also has a self-destruct button that I'm pretty sure has already been brought
It's on
up
his
as
body.
well.
It's on his body. Because he couldn't use it when Nixon took his body.
Oh dear. I
But-
thought the entire museum display in Pastorama was delightful because it was so ridiculous.
But it was everything you would want from an Al Sharpton.
No, that was just Al Sharpton's
Memorial-
tomb. I'm not talking
memorial.
about that. I'm talking about the 99 Latour
Yep.
and Fry's whole
Never
thing about
existed. That is not a real car.
no, and how it was
Oh.
it was his
I didn't
girlfriend's,
remember
but
it,
it
but I was
belonged
like,
to her dad, but
So-
she didn't talk to him and she never closed her curtains.
I need
It was
to
his
talk
neighbor
about
that, yeah.
Yeah.
I need to talk about that line. I so need to talk about that line because that comes up in my every single
you?
day. Yes.
What line?
Yes.
Did your neighbor ever close her curtains?
No, but
Wait, she
almo-
left her curtains open?
Yep.
Were you like were you
like Harriet
were you like
the
George
Spy?
Were you
It
like
was
George McFly in the tree with the
73-year-old Estelle Jones.
No, it was
Oh
more
my
like
God.
it was more like Leela's reaction to it. Remember, that time when I told you not to blah blah blah, not stop your sentences before. Please, someone save me.
one line earlier or something like that.
All right. Anyways, one
No, no,
line.
no.
Oh yeah,
one
stop
line
your sentences
early.
one line earlier.
Yeah, I mean that was my mantra for years, and you know it because I always said things way ridiculous.
I kind of want to change the description of the podcast to being, we should probably end our stories one sentence earlier.
Yeah.
That was my mantra for so long.
You clearly didn't live by it though.
Well, no, I would always be reminded of it after the sentence that I said, "Oh, I probably should not have said that."
So once they steal the Latour, and Fry is, apparently he didn't know how to drive stick shift or any of it, but he drives out, and it's kind of like a replay of when they were on the moon.
Yes.
because he just
Yeah.
drives through the scenery and comes
But
out of the street.
you can't skip over what he's talking about
No,
in
but
the car.
but the 3-card Monty robot that they had.
That's a great, like,
So
just,
it's like, so if they actually had muggers, would it be like mugger bots, and that's how you would be able to tell whether they were fake or not? Because when the
Right.
mugger came up, it was like, "Give me your wallet," and then like I don't know, was that planned?
I feel like, I think like if in that instance, it would have been a robot playing a mugger. I think that guy was just a real mugger.
Yeah, well, clearly he was, because as soon as he grabbed their stuff, he split. But he ran through the exit gate.
Learning is fun.
Yeah, that's like, because Bender was just like, "Oh yeah, duh."
That's a good Bender line. I mean,
Yeah.
I know everyone rags on Bender, but I mean, he had a few good lines in this episode,
like
Well-
ass whiplash.
like ass whiplash.
You know, as
No, that's not.
I would
funny.
no, I was watching this episode.
That's not funny.
No.
I get
this-
ass whiplash
like-
after every time we record these, because these chairs in my own house.
Oh,
are
whoa! I
fucking
thought we weren't going to tell
uncomfortable.
anybody about. Oh, the chairs.
Oh God, they hurt.
I'm leaving.
Okay, so this introduces, they basically run into another Bender bot named Flexo, who can be distinguished from Bender by a very small goatee
stylish
attached to the
beard.
bottom of his face.
So you guys know where I'm going with this one, right?
Spock.
We never know where you're ever
Yeah.
going with anything.
And half the
so
time it doesn't make it to
say
the
it.
episode anyway, so throw that spaghetti at the wall, Lewis.
All right. So evil twins.
Yeah.
Well, yes, there's Spock, but do you guys know where the first literary reference to an evil twin is?
No.
the Bible.
Well, there's mythological evil twins that were in Greek mythos, but
Does it involve a vagina dentata?
Your brother Sean, who was a guest on an earlier episode, in between your two episodes, isn't your twin, but he's your brother. Out of the two of you, which one is the evil Burns?
That's a great question, and we could probably go on for an
No,
hour talking
you could just
about it.
answer it. You don't
So
have-
let's go on and talk about
Tom, which one is the evil Burns?
Sean is the evil Burns. Lewis is the boring Burns.
Very true. So
Does that make is Kristen like the wild card Burns?
She's not one of their brothers.
She's married into it though.
Yeah, but that's not a...
Heidi is the best Burns.
yeah, that's true.
That's probably
That's true.
100% true.
Yeah.
And that's
I am
staying
definitely-
in this podcast.
I am definitely. Yeah. So evil twins. Beowulf brought it up once, but it was more of a mirror of thyself type of thing. The first real literary is the
word.
reference to it is Alexander
Alexander Graham
Du-
Bell.
Dumas. Alexander Dumas.
I think it's
in
pronounced dumbass.
in Man in the
That's
Iron
Dr.
Mask.
Galakowicz. Make sure to pick up Lewis's book, The Evil Twin Inside of Us All, available on Kindle Fire,
yeah,
Amazon.
it's an
and
Amazon-
bookstores near you.
It's an Amazon erotic
Um,
fiction about an incestuous relationship
No,
between two twins.
I'm kidding. You're a wonderful man. All right. Next topic.
The dumbest, the nerdiest joke that has been in one of these episodes is the whole thing where Bender and Flexo laugh about their serial numbers.
Being the sum of two, was it
Sum
sum
of
root?
two squares.
No, cubes.
Cubes. Sorry.
Cubes.
And it's true.
Both expressed real as the sum of two cubes. But let's hear the numbers.
No, we're not going to hear the numbers.
Tom,
And then
you
let's
didn't
talk
write the
about
numbers
each
down?
number and the origin of each number.
So it starts with 3.
So Pythagoras, he was hanging out like...
Real quick,
I
we
love
got
the
we got a
vibration
nice
action.
we got a nice Hermes exclamation when Flexo is introduced with the sweet llama of the Bahamas. If he just shows up in every episode from now on with one of those, like I'm okay
Almost.
with that.
Almost.
But we're coming up on Hermes' best line of this episode, maybe the season. A rage dump.
Yeah. Oh, that was really good because Fry just has this irrational hatred of Flexo, despite the fact that he's basically 100% identical to Bender. I mean, I don't think.
And nicer because he apologizes.
Yeah, I
yeah,
know,
he-
that's the
he
greatest thing.
apologizes,
It's like
but-
so obvious that he's the good Bender.
He sprayed
what I mean?
Fry's
'Cause-
face with chlorine gas. I
I
mean,
was just going to go.
Which-
Hold on. Hey, Horchie. Chlorine. Get it?
I used to work in a restaurant,
Yeah.
and
how did they
there
use
was
chlorine.
just let me finish. Jesus Christ. It had 2 floors. So the downstairs was like all storage and we had all our cleaning supplies and things there. And then the upstairs is where the kitchen and the dining room was. And one time I was closing up the kitchen with this other guy and I was like, can you send up a bucket of like, ammonia so I can mop the floors up here? Because we were shutting the kitchen down. And he sends up a 5-gallon bucket with a bunch of ammonia in it. And then he put a cup of bleach in the
That's how you
middle
kill
of it.
Maggots.
Yeah, well,
Maggots.
yeah.
That's how you kill maggots.
No, that's because it's fucking chlorine gas. So it comes up in the dumbwaiter. I'm like, what the fuck is this? The glass knocks over into the thing, and the whole kitchen fills up with chlorine gas. I mean, it's like killing me. And we go down. I'm like, Jim, what the fuck did you do? And he's like, I thought it was funny. Like, oh my god.
He thought it was funny?
Pete woke up with his butthole 2 inches bigger than it was when he passed out.
I didn't pass out, but I couldn't breathe. Like I had to run out of the room.
Okay, I get it.
Then we had to wait for it to dissipate
Now I
enough that
see
we
why
like
you think
open the
ass
windows up.
whiplash is funny.
It's just like it's one of those things that like some dumbass like he was probably half paying attention in chemistry class in school.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you mix these two, it makes chlorine gas. And then he's like, oh, that'll be super funny. He'll just knock it right in.
Everything makes sense in this episode because of one line towards the end of this episode, and we'll bring it up when we get there. But
Is it when Fry dismisses Zoidberg by calling him a brine shrimp?
no, but yes,
Oh my
Zoidberg's only line is when are you?
I just scratched the inside of my ear with this pen cap. That's right. That's what happened.
Which
Fry's or Zoidberg's only line is it's funny because it's poison.
and it's
Wait, that was Zoidberg's line? That's funny because
It's
it's
poisonous.
I forgot that.
so brine shrimp are sea monkeys.
Hey,
that's
so
what sea monkeys are.
We meet Flexo. Then
The professor
the
calls
professor
everyone
says,
into his bedroom.
Leela, Zoidberg, the rest of you, which I thought was great. Calls them to the bedroom to show them the what do you call it? The
Exhibition.
Atom, the giant atom, or
Well,
whatever.
he
The-
says
an
it-
expedition.
Which is it keeps getting like
and then they
like,
do a dick joke.
like dirtier and dirtier.
Also,
Feast your eyes on
that was my
this.
next note, but I noticed I had a note of a few back. Totally not worth mentioning, but I really liked that they said automocar.
Yeah, we never
Yes.
got
That
to
was
we
back
never
to
got to
the
the
Oh
end of my
my
car.
goodness.
That
Blah,
was
blah,
when we were
blah.
talking about it.
That was
Whatever.
funny.
There was
But,
so much in Pastorama that just
Oh, yeah,
like
it
flew
just
by.
flew
and it
by,
was
yeah,
really
yeah.
So
hard to-
after the whole suggestive
So,
nature
yeah,
of the
then you
the
find
thing,
out
then
that
they're in
it's-
the bathroom and he's in the tub naked.
He's like, let's go. Or no, what-
it's like,
they
can
say,
we have a
go-
better place? To,
Yeah, can we somewhere more,
Can we
less,
do this?
whatever.
And
uh,
did you notice what's in the bathtub?
oh, the little Futurama boat.
A
So
replica.
great.
A
I didn't
replica.
see that.
It's
Of
a
the Planet
A,
replica.
a
Express?
of the
reparation
plan-
of Futurama.
My Fry is
almost
so
like
dumb.
Dito's.
Notice came when
Yes.
Fry asked for things to be alphabetical, and it resulted in the same order.
And rank.
Yeah, rank.
yeah,
too.
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's just.
So who outranks you here?
That was great.
What do you mean?
What's the ranking here
Let me
amongst
check
you
the
guys?
pips on my collar.
Number one,
So-
Horchie.
so-
Number one, Pete.
Horchie's on channel
Number
one.
one, Tommy. Number 7, whoever's sitting in the chair that you're currently sitting in right now, or Lewis.
What's my name?
Crewman Burns.
Crewman Burns.
Red
Where
shirt
does that even
Burns.
come from?
Red shirt Burns.
Did anybody notice how much underwear Leela
Oh my
had?
god, I was just gonna say that. Holy crap.
How much? Is that too much? Is it
it was
excessive?
a
No,
lot.
well, first
She had a
of
drawer of
all,
underwear.
yes, but
Well-
first of all, her underwear was pretty, it was like thongs or something. There wasn't a whole lot of fabric to it.
No, it was
but that
just kinda- it
drawer,
wasn't thongs.
that
It was
drawer was
underwear.
packed
Yeah,
full.
yeah,
It was a
but
drawer of underwear.
yeah, but if you take it all off of a clothesline, I mean, it really does fill up a whole
Wait,
drawer.
who's what?
What?
Who's putting underwear on a clothesline? Is this a 1925 Felix the Cat cartoon? What?
Excuse me, gay.
It seemed like a comical amount of underpants.
8 pairs of underwear?
8?
Yeah,
Eight
because
pairs of
There's
underwear?
8 days in a week.
no, there's 7 days in the week, and then I have the extra one in case something happens.
Brown.
Dude, I
During
have
one
a
of the
lot
day.
of underwear. I don't know.
So, anyways, at 16 minutes and 1 second is the Fry meme.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that where that occurs?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's
where he's
right
looking
after the
At
panties.
Bender and Flexo?
He's looking
Oh.
at me.
So Bender comes in.
Squints.
He has a map in front of him, and Fry says, "Give me that map." And he struggles, and he takes the map, and then he's got a sweater
He's
on
got
him.
the sweater on.
He's got a turtleneck sweater on, and then he goes off, and
Can you-
Fry's
wait,
like,
you can't have a turtleneck sweater. You can have a turtleneck shirt.
You can have a turtleneck sweater.
How?
You have a sweater with a
Oh, wait.
tall
that's-
collar that you fold back over.
If
"That's
it's knitted, it's a turtleneck sweater.
I
Like
You
the
could have
most
you could
turtleneck
have
thing
a-
that you can have is
A
a
cowl
sweater."
neck
You're right,
sweater.
you're right,
You could
yeah.
have a V-neck sweater. You could have a crew neck sweater. You could probably have a sweater with like no collar at all. I thought the whole Bender Flexo switcheroo was kind of the weakest part of the episode. Like there
Right,
wasn't
it's
a whole lot of
ridiculous.
stuff in there. When they got to the Miss Universe pageant, I mean, it was nice seeing Bob Barker in there
that was
and
the
kind
highlight
of
of the episode.
kind
Well,
of
besides
reprising.
Pastorama.
But there's so
like the
much
Dick
to talk
character.
about that. There's so much to talk about that
And
because
Pete was just
tomorrow,
about to do that.
Yeah,
but tomorrow is a parallel universe Miss Universe pageant.
what are you talking about?
In the sign, it says today Miss Universe pageant, tomorrow
is
Miss
parallel.
Parallel Universe
Okay,
pageant.
great.
Sorry.
Yeah, I
It was-
didn't catch that.
And
That
I missed
wasn't
that
the
too.
point.
And also, contestants must be 50% not implants.
Yeah. Hey, actually, that good. So I saw that and I didn't bother to look it up. I was like, oh, that's good. Future blah 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 implants.
Horchie,
Yeah, synthetic.
a lot of hot women, especially in the porn industry, they have plastic surgery and they're
To fix their
silicone.
teeth.
Boobs might be fake sometimes.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I feel
They get their brains augmented so that they're smarter and then of course more attractive. The only thing that I would find more attractive. That's what we're talking about. No, but so my question is: does anyone know? Is there a limitation to beauty pageants of how much?
Some of them
Yes,
do and some of them don't.
50%.
You know who owns
Just robot legs.
the Miss
Like,
Universe
Yeah.
contest?
Bob
President
Barker?
Trump.
Steve Harvey.
All hail President Trump. That's who owns.
No, does he? Are you serious?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That was they kept bringing it up
Oh,
in the
yeah.
debate last night because
Didn't
he
watch it. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons.
It was maddening, but
I didn't watch Monday Night Football. I didn't watch the debates.
apparently
I played.
he has
I killed
repeatedly
monsters.
sort of fat and race shamed one of his winners by like making cracks about her being fat or that she's a housekeeper because she's like got a Hispanic background.
I remember that.
He's a horrible fucking person. Anyway, the part that I liked of that was that this goes back to when they were in the bathroom with the professor, and Leela and Amy get super catty about the Miss Universe thing. Because Leela's trying to be like super feminist about it. Like, who cares? Who would ever want to be interested in that? And Amy's just like, I don't know. It's just a fun thing that everybody kind of dreams about.
But
And then she's like, I didn't. And then Amy's like, oh, maybe it's just cute girls. It was,
Yeah.
That's funny.
did you notice the name of the planet that they went to? So I think Billy West mispronounced it, and he said Pova. But if you say Tova 9 was actually a cosmetics line.
Was that Ernest Borgnine's wife, Tova Borgnine?
Maybe.
I
But
think
Tova
she was a
9
Home Shopping Network star.
But
That might- yeah, that might
Tova
be-
9 was actually a cosmetics because it's Tova. Yeah, Tova.
I
Borgnine.
thought he said it was
Tova
Tova
Borg-
9.
Yeah, he said Tova 9. I heard Pova, but then I looked it up and it said Tova 9, and that was a cosmetics.
See, that's
line,
silly.
so
That's a deep pull.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Tell us some more about cosmetics, Lewis.
Sir, you
Homer
put it
Simpson
on your
doesn't
face.
say Poe. He says, let me see here.
On all my circuits, is Calculon playing a character called Calculon and is also named Calculon in real life? I
never thought
I
about
never
that, but
put
yeah,
that
that is
together,
what's
but
going
is
on.
that
At this
But
point,
he's
yes.
so no. Calculon is so single-minded and idiotic that everything he is Calculon. So, I mean, it's possible that All My Circuits had a character name for him, but he just told everyone to say,
he's
"My
like-
name is Calculon."
like Steven
Tracy
Seagal?
Morgan.
Right,
Okay.
right, exactly,
Well,
like
it's-
Steven Seagal.
It's like any even comic that has a. I mean, he has the soap opera thing, but where the comedians have a show where their first name is their actual
Yeah.
real name and they have a character, whatever. I think that's how it is. He's
Like on Seinfeld, where
Right.
Jerry Seinfeld played a character named Jerry Seinfeld.
So now we get to the point of the podcast where we generously call it the talent contest, right? So, Horchie,
I brought a trumpet.
I thought we just did a talent contest by seeing who could hum the most instrumental TV show theme songs.
There's a path you take and a path not taken. The choice is up to you, my friends.
What's that?
Who's the boss?
The choice is yours.
Yeah, that's really good.
It is
Oh man, that's really good.
Did I
always
win the
think-
talent contest? No more competitors. How does the growing? What's the growing
Step
pains
by
theme song?
step, day by
by
day.
day.
And they are on the roller coaster, and they all get
The
excited.
second time around.
Yes.
No.
And then Cody gets his. Something happens to Cody
He,
because he's
he
adorable.
steps out of the van and goes, oh, he makes that whole face.
Then he beat the shit out of his wife.
Please cut that out. No, nobody laughed at that. Nobody laughed at that. We were laughing because he's a ridiculously evil person, and not at spousal abuse, because that is
So at
Not
one
funny.
point during the pageant, Flexo and Bender start fighting,
Yes.
right? And they start doing a sword fight with their antenna.
Mm-hmm.
Antenna are a representation of the male robot part.
Are you trying to insinuate that they're like genitals?
So, I mean, I don't know. That's the question is,
If that
are
was the
they
case,
fighting with their
no,
peni?
I think it's just the most obvious thing to have them do. I mean, I would ask the bigger question saying you have two robots that are effectively the same model. I mean, other than the cosmetic change
But I
with
mean,
the beard.
also-
So, wouldn't they be 100% evenly matched?
Pete, what do you think during this episode? Did you think it was Bender or Flexo?
Honestly, I didn't know. I was trying to remember because I do remember this episode. I remember parts of this from watching it, 17 years ago. But like I like that at the end of it, it turns out to be Bender is the shitty one who stole the Jumbonium, which is in keeping with Bender's character, right? But then the fact that when the cops finally show up to arrest the perpetrator, they're taking Flexo away, and Bob Barker's like, yeah, whatever, that's the one. He looks about right.
There's a whole deleted scene that it was just an extended scene after that whole thing where it's Smitty and the URL that the robot cop.
Yeah.
And then he says, you have the right to mute your volume. You have the right to legal software. As he's arresting them, like reading him his rights.
When Leela is accidentally crowned Miss Universe,
She was so happy.
she was so happy, and then so that just totally like proved Amy right. Shot down Leela's whole
I mean, it's
whole
the whole
position.
thing. We're all vain.
I
We all
felt
want
like a
the
princess.
fantasy thing to happen, and
I really thought that there would be a major a tangent on this episode about like sexism and everything because of the earlier Amy comment and then the later Leela reaction to.
But then Zap is self-aware enough to be like, no, I didn't read the envelope. I'm just going mano a mano with
That
this
was a bit-
envelope
that was
still.
very
still
uncharacteristic.
doing mano
Yeah,
a
like
mano.
that was sharper than he usually
yeah.
is.
Well, not only that, but like he loves Leela so much. I
Right.
thought he would be like, no, she's the winner, and like he.
Yeah, there's a surprising lack of Zap.
There
Brannigan in
she
this.
is. No, there it is.
Is Miss Universe.
Something weird. Something I don't. Fuck, man.
Okay,
I don't-
so-
did anyone watch this episode? I
Yeah,
didn't.
look here.
Yes, I was gonna.
There was a lot of funny jokes in this, but I'm feeling, and maybe it's just Lewis. I'm feeling strangely unsatisfied at the end of it. Like
Well,
for as
you know-
solid
it
as the
wasn't
jokes
like,
were,
yeah,
it
no,
didn't.
I like I said, I skipped the Flexo episode a lot. It's not.
I
he
don't
comes
think
back
it
later,
landed.
But his first one,
It doubled
Man.
Bender in this
It's-
episode, and then I had a
Hey,
problem
there you
with
go.
it. Like, yeah,
there's something
that's
I
where
don't
I'm
look
at.
forward to
Yeah.
on this show.
Interestingly enough, this is the same writer as
Interesting?
my last
Or do you
episode.
mean tedious? I know I
It's
fucked
the
up that
same
line,
writer.
but-
Yeah, no, it's the same writer as the episode that it was on before.
Yeah, I think most of the episodes credit Eric Kaplan as the writer, though.
No,
No,
it
it-
wasn't.
no.
It was
Eric Corset,
Eric
Not till
Cor-
later.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, whatever.
Lewis.
Yes. There it is, Miss Universe. There it is, looking weird.
Well, you just ruined any promotion that we were going to do for you right now.
Yeah.
But you are also our first repeat guest, and thank you.
Well, thanks.
I hope you enjoyed your final time on Slurmcast. If you'd like to get a hold of us, we are
No,
on
no.
Twitter at slurmcastpod.
I don't want to get a hold of you guys.
We can be emailed at
guys suck.
slurmcastpod@gmail.com.
all of you suck.
You can download episodes or see what we're up to at slurmcast.com. We have a phone number that you can call or text us at 216.
438.
10, 77.
That's
There
it.
we
Good
go.
job, Horchie.
You
got
You
it.
caught it finally.
It doesn't matter what.
Can you
number
edit those so
call.
they run a little quicker, Tom? Awesome.
It doesn't matter what phone number you call because
Please,
it doesn't matter.
Please rate and or review us on
luck.
iTunes. It does help us surprisingly. And I guess Lewis, do you have anything new to plug since your last appearance?
Or you could replug, whatever.
What's your new band that you're doing right now?
It's called Dark Matter Drive. Yeah.
Is that a reference to
And
something?
It is a reference to Futurama, and we threw around a lot of names. The Decapodians. That was one good one.
Male jelly.
What in the one of the songs?
No, I'm gonna write a song called The Decapodians,
Yeah.
though.
We just did that episode.
Last
week.
Yeah, exactly.
We just recorded it.
two
so
of the
for
four-
everyone listening.
When people hear this, they'll hear that episode the previous week. So I guess you don't even need to qualify that.
Yeah, I
crazy.
realized that as it was coming out of my mouth.
all of the members of this band have been on this podcast, and all of the members of this band really love Futurama.
It's true. We only know 8 people.
Yeah, exactly. No, honestly, come on, guys. I really, really appreciate being, on this episode. No, on this podcast again. And
on this episode again, you're going to leave
man.
and come back. Hey, Lewis is back for this
hey,
episode.
let's redo this entire thing because it was horrible.
You're just gonna have to listen to your.
Don't forget to neuter and spay your pets.
I already stopped the recording.